Guys, let's make a lipstick base for a bullet lipstick. This is the lipstick base. So this is what you're seeing here is called the Candelier wax. I used 1 tablespoon of my Candelier wax. Candelier wax is the wax I said is the next hardest after Carbona wax. So Carbona wax is the hardest wax. Candelier wax comes in pellets form. Candelier wax comes in solid, or get it in this one that I cut up myself. So the next I'm adding is this Cara Nuba wax. Cara Nuba wax. I'll be adding 2 spoons of it because we're making bullet lipstick, and I told you that we highly recommend using Carbon wax because of the properties very hard to make your bullet lipstick very, very strong. So I added 2 tablespoons of that to my cup. What I'm doing right now is the heat phase. This is the heat phase. So I'll be adding castor oil to it. Also, castor oil is very good to add your lipstick with. It has very high hydrating properties, and it is generally very, very good in lipstick making because it has this kind of thick texture. It's not very light, neither is it dry. It has this thick texture like properties, and I'm adding 2 tablespoons of this castor oil to the base, to the waxes. Please, when making this, you have to make sure that your oils are not too much. Just keep it on a low. Then I'm adding almond oil, about 1 tablespoon of almond oil. Now, depending on how hard you want your wax to be, you can tweak it a bit. Maybe reduce the oil, add more carabinal wax, something like that. Just to spice it however you want. So I will prepare it harder, but I prefer my lipsticks a bit slightly soft. I don't know. Soft like, okay, I added avocado oil, 1 teaspoon. So some lipsticks are fairly softer than the other. Not all are the same hardness level. So there's always varieties in these stuff like that. But anyways, that is all. Then I added coconut oil. So you can skip the coconut oil step if you don't want to. You can reduce your oils, but just make sure while you're doing all this, you try and note it down somewhere. Whenever I'm making formulations, you might not see it in the video, but I'm always keeping my records somewhere. So if I want to recreate such again, especially if I'm making a new product, trying out a new thing, if I should get it the very good one, I'm always tagging the batches. Like, you have to keep documentation, so remaking will be easier for you to just do. So now I'm going to put it in a double boiler and wait till it all melts. So now we have already melted the oils, and this is it here, the wax and everything. Now you have to be very fast with it, and I would advise that while you're doing this, you just keep it in hot water, the hot medium, so that it does not get hard, because trust me, this thing gets hard as fast as possible because of the wax and everything. So you should have all your silicone molds down, should have prepped it, everything should be ready. You're just going to stay there, and you're going to add your product or any other thing you are adding. So now I'll be adding what we're calling the red oxide. So this is not mica powder. This is red oxide. It is red oxide, please, not mica powder. The difference is that this red oxide stains very well, stains better, stains way better than mica powder. Mica powder cannot give you the kind of stain this oxide will give you. If you note, the first one I did, I was simpler. I used mica powder, that pink bullet lipstick I did. It was mica powder. It stained fairly well, but it did not stain the way this oxide would stain, right? It did not stain the way this oxide would stain. So I would advise you that please let's stick to oxides. You can use mica powder if you do not have a color option, but for things like red, brown, you can use isododecane. It's very important while making lipstick product. You have to use isododecane. Why? Because it is going to help your product feel light on the lips, drying, long lasting. It's not going to feel as oily. It's going to help you keep that sheen and look. I think I explained all you use. Please, anything that is written, please, especially about the product, try to read it and learn. You're trying to learn, so you have to know what you are doing. You don't have to just walk blindly with what the teacher says, right? Research. I should do the cane. I've written all about it. So now next thing I'm just going to do is pour into my mold. After I put the aluminium ring on top, I'm going to pour it carefully into my mold. Even right here, you can see that it's already beginning to solidify. So I think somewhere in between this video, I even went back to go and put it on a low medium so it can melt properly, so I can pour it well, because if not, it's not going to form at all. Anyway, I added my flavoring oil. Please just add a very little, because you're making lipstick. It's not lip gloss. It doesn't have to taste sweet or tangy. So most times when I'm making lipstick, I would advise you use flavoring oil, maybe like lemon. They don't have very strong scent. You just keep it very light and easy. Or you use something like raspberry, currants, blackberry, stuff like that. Don't be using ice cream flavor, strawberry. I mean, unless you want to label your lipstick that though, you're free to customize however you want. But then I prefer those ones that are a bit tangy and not specific. So I'm just pouring it right into my mold, and that is basically all for that, right? So this is the remnant from the half I made from the bullet lipstick base one. So what I'm adding is brown oxide. What you're seeing there is brown oxide. As I said before, it is not mica powder. It is oxide, brown oxide. And I'm just going to mix it up. So it is basically the same thing that I did with the red one also. So no difference. So the only difference here is that this shade of brown is too dark for me, so I'll be using something we call the titanium oxide. Titanium oxide is white, and this can help to like lighten the shade, so it makes your color more opaque. That's the purpose of titanium oxide. It makes it more opaque, makes the shade. If you are doing red, you want to do a light shade red, you put titanium oxide. You can sieve the titanium oxide out, but you know that as the lighter the shade, the more titanium oxide you add, the lighter the shade, and then the less it will color. So darker colors, darker oxides that you don't add anything like in their pure oxide form, color more than the other one. So if you want to lighten your shade, you can just add titanium oxide to it. And I added the S to do the king. You know the purpose of I do to the king. So this is already 30 to solidify. So you can just put it back on fire, pop it back into hot water, low heat please, and then it's going to remelt. So you pour it gently into your silicone mold, and that is all for that part. So that's basically it. Then you're going to put it, after pouring it in your mold, you're going to put it inside your fridge for like 30 minutes to an hour. After that, you leave it outside your fridge for about 3 days for it to solidify well. Please let it solidify well before using. So the first thing you do is roll up the lipstick, then you remove the aluminium ring, you roll up the lipstick tube, remove the aluminium ring, then fix this silicone mold inside, then gently pull. I think I forgot to roll it up. Anyway, just roll it like the tube itself, the empty tube, you roll it up, let that white stuff come up, then you put this in, you fix it inside, and then you gently pull on the silicone mold, gently, so that it doesn't affect or break, because at this point it's still going to be a bit soft. Now you can put this in your fridge for about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Normally you leave it for like 3 days before using it. You give it 3 days for it to harden and solidify properly. Don't just jump into using it. Give it days to harden. You can leave it in your fridge, you can leave it in your freezer. Just make sure it's properly hardened. Keep away from very high temperatures where it's probably going to melt. So yeah, that is basically all for that. And then just pull the silicone mold and then you get this. Okay, so practice makes perfect. As time goes on, you get to know how to do this more and more, how to put silicone mold and all. That's all.